Filming is more than just picking up a camera and pressing record. It's bigger than that for me. I love the process, the editing, making this big piece of art that lasts forever. Imagine your best moment. I'm talking about your best moment of your life, and you could just sit back, rewind it, and press play.
A risky business of going against the grain. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. I don't know, it's radicals, you know what I'm saying?
What's up, fam? Dontae Putmon checking in with Dream Basketball. Everybody know me as Overtime TAE. Let's get it. Basketball means everything to me. Like, from the time I first picked up basketball, I just fell in love with it. And to now, I still love the game. I don't even play basketball anymore, and it changed my life. Like, changed my family life. Like, I come from a poor family where, without basketball, I wouldn't be able to provide. And, not having any father figures, not having my dad or anything like that in my family, and being in low income, and the things that basketball brought to me, traveling, meeting new people, like, it's just a blessing. The way I got introduced to basketball is that I used to skateboard. I didn't even play basketball. I was skateboarding with my friends, YouTube videos and everything, and then it was only one school that, had a skateboarding club, and I was like, I'm going to this school for the skateboarding. And then once I got there was no skateboarding club, so, I tried out for the baseball team, tried out for the basketball team, because, I'd always played basketball, but I mainly played baseball in middle school. I probably did everything, rode bikes, but, like, I made the baseball team, and then they was like, oh, we practicing the basketball gym. I'm like, what is this? We didn't have no, in New York City, there's no fields. Like, there's not fields at all. So I'm like, nah, I can't do this. So I just played basketball my freshman year. And then, like, the way I made the basketball team was I just played good defense. Like, that was my thing. Everybody knew I played good defense. And then I remember my coach was like, yeah, you a defensive whiz. So I got introduced that way. And then my freshman year, I sucked. Like, I was so bad. And this kid named Elvis, he played on the same team, and he was starting over me. And I didn't care to start. Like, I knew I wasn't that good, and everybody else was better than me. And first game, he, like, tore his, like, ACL, came down on his leg and off a rebound, and I just had starting spot from there. And my freshman year was cool. I averaged like 9 points a game, but that's how I got introduced to basketball.
What made you start taking it serious?
I went to a camp, and then this camp, it was just this one play where we were down. I was a guppy in this camp. I was the guppy playing with the big dogs, playing with kids that was at Lincoln, kids that was at Kent, and I was a guppy. Like, all-star players, like, either fouled out or, like, was hurt, and, like, we were down by 3, and it was the end of the game, and I was like, just give me the ball, just trust me. I was a freshman at this camp, whatever. They were going to my sophomore year, and they just gave me the ball, and I had got the ball, and, like, I didn't think like, okay, I'm gonna do this Kobe Bryant fadeaway shot. I was like, I'm gonna pump fake, get the foul, and hopefully make the shot, because we were down by 3, and I wanted to end the game. Exactly what happened. Pump fake, kid jumped, and got the foul, threw it up, and one from 3 in the corner, made the free throw, and from there, like, I just started taking it serious. My sophomore year was my breakout year. Like, I came in that sophomore year after camp, like, destroying everybody that stepped in front of me, picking up 94 feet, and there was this ranking. I didn't know nothing about it. Like, remember, I'm still new to the game of basketball, and everybody on my team, we were like 10 games in. They're like, you like number 3 ranked. Like, you trying to go for the number 1 spot. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I checked, and I'm like, oh, I'm ranked number. That didn't mean like I'm the number third player in New York City. That's just like scoring wise. I'm like, I'm coming for that number 1 spot. And it was like this kid named Juan and this kid named Jalen Rose. Everybody knew Jalen Rose, like, and I was just like, I'm gonna get that spot. 4 games later, I was there, and I kept that throughout my whole sophomore year, and that's what got me long. Like, everybody before Overtime TAE, they knew me as DP3. One of the best moments of my high school career was my 50 ball. because there's this team talking mad smack on the internet. This is when Facebook was lit back in the day. They were talking crazy. School was called Sewer Park. You know, they had a couple D1 guys there. My school didn't have no D1 guys, to be honest, but they had a couple D1 guys there, and they was talking so much smack that, like, all I do is fast break, layups, whatever. Because I play defense. Like, I'm on you 94 feet, and I'm, like, you know? And I told myself that game, I'm like, I'm not going to have no fast break layups. I was in there, like, picking pocket, got a full open lane to myself, bringing it out, because I was not scoring no fast break layups because they were talking so much hot. Everything was and one, 3 balls, like really just going crazy. And I had a couple scouts there that game, and I did my thing. Like that 50 ball was crazy. And then the next day, we had another game against what's the school called? I don't know school. And then the next day we had another game. I had 45. We didn't get the dub, but that was like 95 points in 2 days.
So you had 50 and then you had 45?
I had 50 and then I had 45 the next day. High school was lit. And then my man's Ralphie, shout out Ralphie, because I was number 1 scorer and he was number 1 in assists. You know where his assist was going to me. To be honest.
It's a dynamic duo.
That was my boy. Basketball was going great for me until my senior year. We were playing Thurgood Marshall. They had a couple good guys, Juice, Dementio, and, you know, they thought they was going to punch us in the mouth, and we came at them. And we were in it till the 4th quarter. We were up by probably like 10, with about 5 minutes left, and I don't even remember what happened. I just remember pain. Like, I just came down off a rebound, I don't remember what happened. I just remember crying, and I tore my hamstring, and, like, it was over. Like my career was over. Right then and there, my career was over. Like, I still think about it to this day.
What was that feeling for you, knowing that you had to let it go?
It hurt. It hurt real bad. Knowing that, watching the score, us in this, you know, game that we thought we was going to get punched in the mouth too, and just watching the league go down and down, sitting on the bench, telling my coach I'm good to get in. Like, I got in, and I just stood there for like a spot-up shooter, but like it just didn't work out, and it hurt. It hurt real bad because that was the last game of my career. Like, I think about that day. I think about that all the time, and like I tell kids to this day, like, it's a blessing. The game is a blessing because you never know what can happen.
What are some of the things, or who are some of the people that motivated you and inspired you to continue after you had your injury?
One person that, you know, been with me since day one is my AU coach, Bryant. He's just been, you know, he's just had my back since I started playing AU. Times where, like, I would be on the bench, not on the bench, but after games, we'll win, but I'll be sad because I didn't have no family come. Like, I was always the kid that was in the car that's like carpool, and everybody else's parents was there and everything. It's just like, I didn't have nobody. My mom passed away when I was very young. I don't have no dad, just my grandma, my aunts and stuff like that. But they wasn't, you know, be able to drive to Jersey. Like, it just was sad. Like, I was just like, I want to put on for my family. I want them to come, you know, see me play. It just was unfortunate. So, you know, Brian seen me, and, you know, he heard me out. And ever since that day, he's just always been someone that's my go-to. Like, he's my mentor. And when I got injured, you know, he stuck with me through physical therapy, and getting my mind right. And even when I, you know, got back, you know, I never was fully healthy, but he helped me, you know, get to school. He moved to Los Angeles, and he, like, basically got a school for me to go out there too, which I was going there for the summer, killing, and you know, coaches just said I was too small. I'm 5'7", and I'm from New York City, and I was killing their guards. And that same school is the same school that they just did Last Chance U for, and I was killing these dudes. But like I play here and there, but it's just not the same anymore.
Why didn't you give up?
I didn't give up because it's just what I love to do. Like, basketball is what I love to do. I ain't love nothing else more than basketball. Like, I ain't have nothing else to do, to be honest. Like, people say that it's just a game. It's not just a game to me. It's my life. Like, my whole life revolves around basketball. Without basketball, I would not be here. I would not be here at all. For real though.
How did you get introduced to filming?
So, how I was introduced to the cameras was, I just was editing my videos back then, you know, using the app called Splice, and putting it on YouTube to get out to colleges. The problem is that, you know, college coaches, you know, the goal is to go D1, and college coaches won't come to your games if you don't have footage or anything like that. So we had to like film on an iPhone and stuff like that. And you know, once I figured out my basketball career was over, I was like, I really want to help my friends succeed. And I had this kid named Elvin Rodriguez, Dream Basketball, know him. This kid used to, you know, he used to look up to me. He believed in me. He's seen, you know, the work that I put in. And when I was a sophomore, he was asking me, can I get in the gym with you? You know, he was so eager to learn the game. You know, he was so small. I remember Elvin was smaller than me. Like, we went to that same camp that he seen what I was doing to dudes. And then he started working out with me. And then once I started seeing him, you know, start, you know, torching dudes, like, I was like, yo, this kid could really go somewhere. And me knowing I didn't want him to fall in the same footsteps that I did, like injury, not going to the school you want to go to, or getting offers or anything like that. I just knew I wanted him to succeed. And him hearing his story about his grandpa and where, like, his living situation, I was just like, yo, basketball is going to change this kid's life. And I just felt like God put me there to, like, you know, be that person. Like, he just was like, yo, I was like, yo, Elvin, we gonna work. You know, I was filming this kid with the iPad, and like YouTube videos was going up, but I was also working, you know, for FedEx. And during that time, I got to an altercation at FedEx, and like I got locked up, and I was in there. I didn't go to no island or anything like that. I was just in there for 24 hours, just knowing I should not be here. Like, my brother's been in and out of prison forever, since I was born, and I just knew that that wasn't for me. And that hit me, because I was like, I'm not supposed to be here. So from the time I got out, I went straight to Best Buy. They have no money. They said I could finance a camera if we get a credit card with them. I did that. Got a camera and just started going crazy. Started filming Elvin, started filming my other friends, Ron, Kenny, and I was just like, I'm gonna get this footage out. I'm gonna email college coaches, because I know they ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and that's what I started doing. I just was emailing a bunch of coaches. I got this kid Elvin, I got this kid Ron. Check out this mixtape, whatever. And coaches seen, and then the day that Elvin got his first division offer from Denver University was the day that, like, it was the best day of my life, because, you know, he did it all himself. Like, he did it. He's the athlete who got it, whatever. But I was behind the camera, and I was there with him, and I just, like, never asked him for $1 for anything. He never asked me for nothing. Like, it's just, that's my brother, like, for life. And once he got his Division I scholarship, I'm like, we need more. The videos from my boy Ron, Kenny, Saquon, Singleton, and like everybody was getting offers and getting mixtape. Everybody was happy, and then, you know, I was like, I could really take this serious. So seeing what happened to Elvin and Ron and, you know, all the dudes that I was filming back then, I was just like, you know, I want to work for a team, you know, but I had to make a portfolio. And I just started, you know, East Coast Hoops. And I just was filming all New York City basketball kids. Trying to build New York City basketball because New York City basketball is so slept on, and, you know, like,
Why did you come up with the idea of East Coast Hoops?
because I came up with East Coast Hoops before. It was DP3 Productions, but that was like, everybody knew me as DP3, Dontae Putmon 3. That was my favorite number, but I knew like that's not good branding because that's just me. Like, I just knew like I needed a name that represents something bigger than just me, because it's not about me, it's about the people that I'm covering. So then I was thinking of names, and I thought of East Coast Hoops. I started East Coast Hoops because, you know, I wanted to help kids, but I also wanted to work for a team, and I needed a portfolio. That was the main goal, to work for a team. So I DM multiple platforms, Balls Life, ADI, Hoop Mixtape, and, you know, I got no response. And then there was this other young company that had just started called Overtime. I DM'd them like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I was like, hey, you're hiring? You know, because I was desperate, because when I was doing East Coast Hoops, I wasn't making nothing. I really wasn't making nothing that, you know, can help me out. They were new, starter from New York City, and they responded to me right away and called me in for an interview. And I went down there with Elvin, and, you know, they knew Elvin. They posted Elvin on their page, and I had this footage of Elvin. Basically, I started like to do documentaries. Elvin was my first documentary, just, you know, following him around, telling his story. And I was like, I can introduce this to them, because at first they were just doing iPhones, like just filming games, whatever. I was like, you guys should start, like, in that meeting I was telling them, like, you guys should start filming with professional cameras, telling these kids story, like, you'll be huge at it. And they was like, you know, in the politest way, like, we're not into that yet, you know, but we want to just, you know, focus on the iPhone. But if you want to, you know, do the iPhone, we have a position for you. And I was just, you know, kindly told them, like, nah, because I didn't want to step that back down to the cameras, to the iPhones. I didn't want to step back down to the iPhones. They told me they're going to keep in touch, and I just knew, like, I had to start pushing out East Coast Hoops content from there. So I started doing more documentaries. I started filming more, and from 2015 to 2016 summer, East Coast Hoops went from 1,000 followers to 15,000 followers, and people were saying like I was the best mixtape, you know, company that they seen. Kids like the kids that was coming up, like JQ, Isaiah Washington, all the Jellyfin kids asked for mixtapes. Had kids from the West Coast ask for mixtapes, and like, I couldn't travel to the West Coast. I didn't have no money. I wasn't making no money from this. I didn't have nothing. And then a year later, Overtime seeing, you know, what I was doing, and they hit me back like, we need you. And that's what I've been looking for. And that was just all from, you know, I failed. I didn't fail. I just, like, it wasn't what they were into. But, you know, it came back around, and everything happened for a reason. And you know, my goal was to travel and, you know, keep filming these players, like the players that like was hitting me up. I was like, that's my goal, and I couldn't do that, you know, with East Coast Hoops. So when Overtime came in, hire me. Next week, I'm on a flight to Colorado to film USA basketball. This is like all the top players in the country. All of them. Zion was there. Cam Reddish was there. Tyler Hero was there. All these top major guys were there. And, you know, my flight was paid for, a hotel, car rental, everything was like, it was just a blessing. I remember taking a picture on the flight, looking out the window, like, this is crazy. Like, I'm doing what I love to do. And I filmed every single kid there. Every single kid there that played, I made sure I got a highlight for them. And every single kid that I did a highlight for posted it. Overtime seeing that, and it just went up from there. This journey has been amazing, from, you know, riding my bike to filming basketball games to, you know, getting on airplanes and traveling the world. Like, it's been crazy. It's a blessing. And I went from filming Elvin Rodriguez to the player that nobody knew about to filming the number one player, Mikey Williams. And it's been dope. You know, Overtime was like, listen, we want you to do a show with Mikey Williams. We just gonna leave it in your hands. You just have fun. And I was up for the challenge, and I went out to San Diego, living out there for like 6 to 8 months by myself, one-man team. And, you know, we made a movie. You'll watch all episodes in one, it's a movie. But the process has been, you know, crazy, because I was on filming, producing, and editing all at once. But, you know, I had some help along the way as well. Shout out to Sammy, always with the graphics, and RJ, you know, helping me along as well. And, you know, my bosses, you know, for mentoring me throughout that and helping me learn to be a better producer. You know, I appreciate that, for real. You know, Mikey, you know, he made it where he's at today. He did that all by himself, you know. 3 million followers, you know, minus the Instagram stuff. Like, that kid lives in the gym. He'll tell me, like, yo, can you take me to the gym? I'll be out working, editing from home, 12 p.m., 1 a.m. Can you take me to the gym? And I'm there, rebounding. We stay in the gym till like 1 to 5 in the morning, and, you know, it didn't happen overnight. I wasn't there when it first happened, but I'm here. But I'm watching how it happened. And that's just how it is. It doesn't mean that if you stay in the gym, you're going to get thousands of followers. No, that means that you're going to work hard. And it's all about working hard and putting dedication into it. And you'll see results. Don't worry about the Instagram followers or anything like that. The main goal is, you know, to get a free education and, you know, make it to the league. You don't got to have followers to make it to the league. Like, the league isn't promised because of your followers. The league is like with your work ethic. And Mikey has been putting in the work, and all these other kids, like, they put in that work because they know. Like,
what do you want your legacy to be?
my legacy, I just don't want people to remember me as just a cameraman. Like, I'm, you know, thinking bigger picture than that, because the difference between me and, you know, other people, like, I care about these kids. Like, I care about these kids and their futures, and it's not about getting the content or anything like that. I'm just a little different, and that's why, you know, I have relationships with the people that I do, because I don't just come up to them, hey, my name is Dontae, put this mic on, I'm here to film you. I'd rather have a 2-hour conversation with you. Don't even pull the camera out and we talk about life. And, you know, that's what just makes me different than everybody else, because I care, especially with young black men growing up, you know, like, teaching them. My biggest advice for kids, especially growing up in New York City, you know, it's not easy. I know it's not easy. I experienced it firsthand, but you don't want to wait until it's too late. That's what my coach told me. You don't want to wait until you get this age, and then you'll be at that age, and you'll be mature, and you'll say, damn, I wish I could have did this when I was younger. I wish I could have did this. You don't want to be that guy. I feel that right now, and I feel like I'm on my way to success, but I still feel that way. So you got to start making decisions now. Maturing at a young age is important. You know, listening to your parents is important. Staying out the streets, because, like, me, I'm different. I don't follow. I'm on my own wave. Like, I'm on my own wave. I don't do it. I don't see a quote or a caption on Instagram and follow that. I'm different. Like, I'm different. And I thank God for that mindset. And it's okay to be you. Like, it's okay to be you. If you know me, I'm the most corniest, lamest person in the world, but everybody loves me because I'm just me. Don't try to fake something that you're not, you know. Don't do something because everybody else is doing. Like, don't smoke weed because you see other people doing it because it's cool. It's not cool. It's just like, just be you. Like, don't try to fit in because of your environment, you know, because that will get you up. If I would have stayed with the friends that I was friends with since a kid, I would not be where I'm in. And I just knew I had to separate myself because it's either, I just had to separate myself. 3 main principles that I learned from basketball that, I apply to my daily life is never give up, finish strong, for sure. And the last thing is to forever be humble. Kids that's sending their footage out to coaches and stuff like that, don't just have someone make you a mixtape to make it look good and slow-mo and all this, because that's not really important. That's cool for Instagram, but what's really important is what you doing on that court and, just raw footage of you just 1 minute. Say you got one game and you can put raw files in 1 minute. That's the best thing to do because college coaches don't care that you have a boogie on your background with these curses. Stay away from the curse words. Put some instrumental on there. Save that for Instagram and everything. Like my dream, besides the cameras and stuff like that, is to, I wrote this on my college vision board, is to open up a gym in New York City that's 24 hours. Keep kids out the street, and not even just for basketball. Like have other stuff going on. Have a program that teaches them how to film, how to produce, how to edit. Just to keep them off the streets and like they can learn from that. You don't necessarily basketball's not the only way out. Thank God. I was introduced to the cameras and editing, and it changed my life. And I'm still around a game of basketball. There's always other options. Favorite mixtape? Well, my personal favorite is I got a couple favorites.
Top 3.
All right, top 3 mixtapes. I'm gonna go with Shamari Pons. That's a sleeper. Mac McClung. He went crazy. That was when Drake's God's Plan came out, and everybody know the Kill Car mix at Dykeman. Everybody talk about to this day. Matter of fact, we're gonna look at the views on it real quick.
Yeah, I already know what you're talking about.
The Kill Car mix was OD. Like, it was just like, it's crazy because, where I pull this up, it's crazy because I used to watch a Kill, like, before this camera stuff, I used to watch a Kill Car when I was in high school. Like, this kid is legendary. And then for him to post a mixtape that I did and tell me, like, I need you at my next game, different. Alright, look. Is it on autofocus or not?
I got you right now.
This was that John. Look at the view insights. Hold on, let me put my brightness up real quick.
I got you.
This was it. If I go to view insights, look at this. This is crazy.
All this stuff. Yeah.
18,000 likes.
All this stuff? Damn.
286.
Hey, 45,000 say.
4,000 shares.
Yo.
No, hold on.
A lot of people say.
No, one more. Mac McClung's. Listen, I only have 30,000 followers.
They love this mixtape.
Mac McClung? 16,000 saves? 16,000 saves? In the midst of me filming, traveling and being around all these, star players, my best friend Ron, same kid that, I was filming back then and trying to get him, editing his videos and trying to get him, scholarships. Like, he was like, he wanted to start his own brand. Basically, all the stuff that he been going through, like, he just want to put it in the brand. Like, his father had passed away recently, and, he had an injury just like me, and he wanted to give up, and, he was just like, instead of giving up and putting, all those emotions that he was going through, he was like, I'm going to put it in a brand, and he just asked me for my help. And I was like, I love it. And, he basically, like, took out a student loan I told him not to, but he believed in himself. He trusted himself, and he did that. And we came up with this brand called Mixed Emotion, and it's just basically a brand for people that going through stuff, or people that's, you don't gotta be sad, you don't gotta be, my bad. It's basically a brand for people that's going through a lot of emotions, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, depressed, in love. It's for everybody going through emotions. And ever since we started it in January, we grew 23,000 followers since there in January 2020. And it's been great. Like, it's been great. We got, most people know us for the shorts, and the shorts, like, they be going viral. We came out with some shorts the other day, sold out in 2 minutes. Came out with another pair, sold out in 3 minutes. Shout out everybody that's been rocking with Mixed Emotion.
Who are some of the people in your life that keeps you going and keeps you level-headed on a daily basis?
I couldn't do this without, first and foremost, my friends, Alvin, Ron, a couple other friends that have been rocking with me and supporting me since day one. My family, my aunts, my cousins, my grandma, most importantly, she raised me since I was young, adopted me when I was a kid, and my coaches, and last but not least is God. Couldn't do this without God. It's truly a blessing. Also my brothers, seeing what they went through, I knew I just needed more in life. If I was to describe myself in one word, I don't have a word for it. I put the word together. I'm just TAE. That's me. I'm just TAE, and I'm gonna always be TAE.